15 tips to grow your snake plant 3x faster in 2025. Hey there, my fellow plant lovers. Welcome back to Earthly Delights, the cozy corner of the internet where we turn simple houseplants into living art. If you're here, I bet you're the kind of person who loves the quiet comfort of greenery. Someone who finds joy in a new sprout, who checks their leaves in the morning like others check their phones, and who believes that a home filled with plants just feels more alive. But let's be honest, there's that one plant sitting quietly in the corner that just won't grow. For many of us, it's the snake plant. Elegant, stoic, beautiful, yet frozen in time. You've watered it, whispered kind words, maybe even played music for it, but still it stands still, almost as if it's testing your patience. Well, I've been there too. And after years of growing, failing, learning, and growing again, I've gathered a collection of simple, science-backed secrets that will finally get your snake plant to grow 3 times faster, turning that stubborn green statue into a thriving masterpiece. So grab a cup of tea, take a deep breath, and let's dive into the world of light, soil, and a little bit of plant psychology. By the end of this video, you'll see your snake plant in a whole new way. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights, because here every plant has a story, and yours is just about to bloom. Tip 1. Understanding where your snake plant truly comes from. Every great relationship starts with understanding, and that includes the one between you and your snake plant. Most people think snake plants love dark corners because they've been labeled as low-light survivors. But the truth? These plants are children of the sun. In their natural homeland, the warm open savannas of West Africa, snake plants grow under skies drenched in sunlight, surrounded by dry soil and hot air. They don't just tolerate light, they crave it. Imagine this. You've been keeping your plant in a dim hallway, believing you were protecting it. In reality, it's been longing for just a bit more brightness. A window seat, a few rays of morning light, that gentle warmth spilling in through the glass. When I first learned this, I moved mine closer to a bright window, and within weeks, new shoots appeared like tiny green promises. Understanding your snake plant's roots, literally and figuratively, is the first step to unlocking faster growth. These plants thrive when we honor where they come from, giving them what nature intended: light, space, and a touch of warmth. So before you buy fancy fertilizers or gadgets, take a look around your home. Where can your snake plant see the sky? Because once it does, you'll notice it start to wake up, stretching its elegant leaves higher, finally ready to grow the way it's always wanted to. Tip 2. Let there be light. The secret fuel behind every strong snake plant light is life. Not just for us, but for every leaf that breathes under your roof. And when it comes to your snake plant, light isn't just nice to have, it's essential. Many people think these plants thrive in the dark, but in truth, they only survive there. They endure, yes, but they don't flourish. To truly grow 3 times faster, your snake plant needs bright, indirect sunlight, the kind that fills a room with soft glow, not the harsh blaze of midday rays. Try this. Place your snake plant near a window that faces east or west, where it can catch the gentle morning or afternoon light. If you live in a shaded apartment or a place with long winters, don't worry. Technology has caught up with nature. In 2025, LED full-spectrum grow lights have become every indoor gardener's best friend. They mimic real sunlight and are energy efficient, keeping your plants happy even in the gloomiest corner of your home. When I first introduced grow lights to my collection, I noticed something almost magical. The leaves grew stronger, the green deepened, and those new baby shoots appeared with confidence. It's like my snake plants had been asleep, and suddenly someone pulled back the curtains. So give your plant what it's been asking for all along: a touch of sunshine. Because once it feels the light, you'll see the change not just in how it grows, but in how it glows. Tip 3, keep it moving. Rotate and let the air flow. Here's something most plant owners overlook. Your snake plant doesn't just need light, it needs balance. Think of it like this. If one side of your body got all the sunlight and the other stayed in shadow, you'd start leaning too, wouldn't you? That's exactly what happens when your snake plant stays facing the same direction for too long. Its leaves begin to bend toward the light, becoming uneven and weak. To fix this, make rotation part of your care routine. Every time you water, turn the pot a little, about a quarter turn. This simple habit helps every leaf get its fair share of sunshine, creating even upright growth that looks healthy and full. It's like giving your plant a gentle dance lesson, teaching it to stand tall from every angle. But light isn't the only thing your snake plant needs to move. Airflow matters too. Stagnant air can trap moisture and invite pests, while fresh air encourages strong, sturdy leaves. Crack open a window when the weather allows, or place a small fan nearby for a few hours each day. It mimics the natural breeze your plant would feel outdoors, keeping it refreshed and breathing freely. When you combine rotation and airflow, something beautiful happens. Your plant begins to feel alive. The leaves toughen, the color deepens, and you'll notice it seems more vibrant, as if it's finally comfortable in its own skin. This is how you bring the energy of the outdoors right into your living room. Tip 4, let your plant breathe clean leaves, clear growth. Sometimes the secret to helping your snake plant grow faster isn't in the soil or the sunlight. It's in the simplest act of care, cleaning its leaves. Over time, dust and grime settle on those beautiful green blades, forming an invisible barrier that blocks sunlight and clogs the tiny pores plants use to breathe. It's like trying to run a marathon while wearing a mask. Your plant just can't perform at its best. So here's a small ritual that makes a big difference. Every few weeks, take a soft, damp cloth and gently wipe each leaf from base to tip. You don't need fancy sprays or harsh chemicals, just a little lukewarm water, maybe with a drop of mild soap if there's stubborn residue. As you do it, you'll start to notice the leaves gleaming again, their natural patterns glowing in the light. When I first started this habit, I was amazed. Within a few days, my snake plant looked fresher, more upright, almost proud. The new growth that followed seemed stronger and faster, like it had been waiting for that breath of clean air. Remember, photosynthesis, that magical process that fuels every bit of green life, happens through the surface of the leaves. Keeping them clean isn't just about appearance. It's about unlocking the plant's ability to make energy. So, treat this step like a spa day for your plant, because a clean leaf is a happy, growing leaf. Tip 5, water with wisdom when less becomes more. If there's one thing that separates thriving snake plants from struggling ones, it's water, or rather how we use it. Most of us water with love, but sometimes that love is a little too much. Snake plants are desert-born survivors, designed to store water in their thick, sculpted leaves. When their roots sit in soggy soil, they can't breathe. The result? Soft leaves, yellowing tips, and a plant that looks more tired than alive. So here's the golden rule. Don't water on schedule, water on instinct. Before you reach for that watering can, stick your finger into the soil, about 2 inches deep. If it feels dry, your plant is ready for a drink. If it's even slightly damp, wait a few more days. Snake plants would rather be thirsty than drowned. When you do water, do it generously. Let the water flow through the soil and drain completely. This helps rinse out any salts or minerals and gives the roots a refreshing gulp instead of a shallow sip. Think of it as offering your plant a full glass of water after a long walk, not just a drop to tease its thirst. And if you're someone who loves gadgets, a simple moisture meter can help take out the guesswork. Remember, healthy roots mean healthy leaves. And getting water right is like unlocking the rhythm your snake plant needs to grow strong, steady, and fast. Tip 6, build the perfect foundation. Choose the right soil mix. Let's talk about the part we rarely see, but that decides everything: the soil. You might think any old potting mix will do, but for your snake plant, the right foundation can make the difference between slow, stubborn growth and lush, thriving leaves. These plants don't have big, deep roots. They prefer soil that lets them breathe, that feels airy and drains water quickly, just like the dry ground of their African homeland. If your soil feels heavy or stays wet for too long, it's time for an upgrade. A good mix should crumble lightly between your fingers, not clump. Try blending regular potting soil with a handful of perlite or pumice to add air pockets, and a little bark or coconut husk for texture. Some gardeners even add a sprinkle of biochar. It keeps the soil fresh and helps prevent root rot. When I first switched my snake plant from dense soil to a chunky, well-draining mix, it was like giving it a new life. Within weeks, the roots started exploring the pot, new shoots appeared, and the leaves stood taller than ever. It was proof that healthy roots are the quiet secret behind fast growth. So, don't underestimate the ground your plant stands on. Give it a mix that mimics the wild. dry, airy, and full of space to breathe. Because when your soil feels right, your plant feels at home, and that's when real growth begins. Tip 7. The pot matters. Give it room, but not too much. Choosing the right pot for your snake plant might seem like a small detail, but it's one of those quiet choices that can completely change how your plant grows. Too big, and the soil holds water for too long, suffocating the roots. Too small, and the plant becomes cramped, unable to stretch and expand. What you want is balance. A snug home that feels cozy, not crowded. Terracotta pots are my personal favorite. They breathe, allowing moisture to escape naturally. And they give your plant that gentle balance between dryness and hydration. Ceramic pots can work too, as long as there's a drainage hole, because without it, water has nowhere to go. And that's a recipe for root rot. When you repot, go only one size up, just an inch or two wider than the old pot. It might feel counterintuitive, but snake plants love that slight pressure around their roots. It tells them it's time to grow upward, sending out stronger, taller leaves. And when those first new shoots break through the soil, you'll know you've created the perfect space for it to thrive. I still remember the first time I moved one of my older snake plants into a new terracotta pot. It felt like giving it a breath of fresh air. Within weeks, it rewarded me with 2 new pups. Small reminders that even the quietest changes can spark incredible growth. Tip 8. Feed gently, grow steadily. The art of nourishing your snake plant. Here's something many plant owners overlook: feeding. We often assume that snake plants, being hardy and independent, don't need much. And while it's true they're not heavy feeders, the right nutrition at the right time can completely transform their growth. Think of it like vitamins for your plant. Not too much, not too little, just enough to keep it thriving. During spring and summer, when your snake plant is in its active growing phase, a gentle, balanced houseplant fertilizer works wonders. I like to dilute mine to half the recommended strength and use it every few weeks. This slow, steady approach keeps the roots safe while feeding the plant continuously. You don't want to shock it with a feast. You want to give it a steady diet. If you prefer a natural touch, try something simple: compost tea, worm castings, or even water from a fish tank. They're packed with gentle nutrients that mimic what plants get in nature. And remember, during winter, your plant rests. Don't force feed it then. Let it take a break, just like the earth does. When I started feeding my snake plants more mindfully, I noticed deeper greens, stronger leaves, and faster new growth. It was like they finally had the energy to show off their full beauty. So yes, even the toughest plants appreciate a good meal. They just like it served light and balanced. Tip 9. Multiply the beauty. Propagate smart for instant fullness. If you've ever wished your snake plant looked fuller, thicker, or just more alive, propagation is the secret you've been looking for. But here's the truth. Not all propagation methods are created equal. Cutting a leaf and waiting for it to root can take months, sometimes even a year. The faster way? Division. It's nature's shortcut to instant growth. When you repot your snake plant, look closely at the base. You'll see clusters, each with its own roots and leaves. Gently separate 1 or 2 of those clusters and replant them together in a single, slightly larger pot. In just a few weeks, they'll settle in, filling the space and giving you that lush, bushy look everyone wants. It's like creating a little family reunion inside your planter. Here's a fun twist. Mix different varieties: a deep green snake plant next to a yellow-edged Laurenti, maybe even a moonshine variety with its silvery tone. The contrast is stunning, like living art. And since snake plants have slim roots, they're perfectly happy sharing the same space without crowding each other. I still remember combining 3 small plants into 1 pot years ago. Within months, it became the centerpiece of my living room. Full, vibrant, and completely unrecognizable from those tiny starters. That's the magic of propagation done right. It doesn't just multiply your plants, it multiplies the joy they bring. Tip 10. Grow in water. A modern twist on an ancient plant. Now here's a little surprise. Your snake plant can grow beautifully in water alone. I know it sounds almost impossible for a desert-born plant, but when done right, this modern method gives amazing results. It's perfect for anyone who loves clean, minimalist setups or simply wants to see those elegant roots weaving through clear glass like living art. Start with a healthy leaf or a small offshoot. Place it in a glass jar filled with clean, room temperature water, making sure only the roots or the cut end are submerged. Keep the water level steady and change it every week to prevent stagnation. The roots will begin to adapt, forming a network that thrives without soil. The trick here is oxygen. Water naturally holds enough for the roots to breathe, and with regular changes, your plant stays strong and happy. This method isn't just about convenience, it's about connection. You can literally watch your plant grow day by day, tracing the delicate white roots as they stretch and branch out. It's calming, even meditative. And for those with limited space or messy soil fears, it's the perfect indoor solution. I've had a few of my snake plants growing in water for over a year now. They sit by my window, catching light and sparkling like green sculptures. Every time I pass by, I smile. Proof that even the oldest plants can embrace a little innovation and thrive in new ways. Tip 11, respect the rhythm. Understanding the growth and rest cycle. Every living thing has a rhythm, even your snake plant. While it might look calm and unchanging, it's quietly responding to the seasons, the light, and the warmth around it. In spring and summer, it's full of energy, pushing out new shoots, strengthening roots, and expanding its beautiful leaves. But when autumn comes and daylight fades, it begins to slow down. That's its way of resting, storing energy for the next burst of growth. This is where many plant owners go wrong. We keep watering and feeding the same way all year long, expecting constant progress. But growth is not a straight line, it's a cycle. When your snake plant pauses, it's not giving up, it's preparing. So during the cooler months, ease up. Water less often, stop fertilizing, and let it simply be. The roots are still alive beneath the surface, quietly recharging. When the light returns in spring, you'll see the results. Strong, bold leaves rising again, as if your plant had been waiting for its cue. That's nature's wisdom. Growth isn't just about doing more, but also knowing when to rest. Once you learn to match your care to the plant's rhythm, everything becomes easier. Your snake plant will reward you with resilience, grace, and a steady, peaceful presence in your home. A reminder that rest, too, is part of growth. Tip 12, keep it comfortable, mastering temperature and humidity. Now let's talk about something most people forget until it's too late: the environment your snake plant lives in. These plants might seem unbothered by anything, but they're quietly sensitive to the air around them. Snake plants love warmth. Their ideal home is between 65 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, just like a mild summer day. When the temperature dips too low, or when they're hit by cold drafts from a window or air conditioner, their leaves start to suffer. Soft spots, drooping tips, even scars that never quite heal. The same goes for humidity. While snake plants can handle dry air, they actually grow faster when the air isn't too harsh. If your home feels desert dry, group a few plants together or place a shallow tray of water and pebbles nearby. It creates a small, natural bubble of moisture, a microclimate where your snake plant feels at ease. I once had a beautiful Laurenti sitting right next to my winter window. It looked fine until one cold night left its outer leaves faded and wrinkled. That's when I learned comfort matters. Move your plant away from extreme heat or cold, give it gentle airflow, and it will thrive in gratitude. Think of it like this: your snake plant doesn't ask for luxury, just stability. Keep its world calm and steady, and it will reward you with the kind of slow, confident growth that turns a simple plant into a true statement of life. Tip 13, listen to your plant observation. Is the best teacher. Caring for plants isn't just about following rules. It's about paying attention. Every snake plant has its own way of communicating. Subtle but clear if you know how to listen. A new leaf rising from the center? That's a thank you. Leaves leaning toward the light? That's a gentle reminder it wants a brighter spot. Yellowing tips or soft patches? That's your cue to pause the watering can. Observation turns you from a caretaker into a partner. Take a few minutes each week to really see your plant. Notice the shade of green, the firmness of the leaves, the feel of the soil. These small moments of awareness do more than guide your care routine. They build connection. I've learned more from quiet mornings with my plants than from any book or tutorial. When I touch the soil, when I notice a new shoot, it feels like a conversation, a silent but meaningful one. And the more I listen, the more they grow. This is the heart of indoor gardening. Your snake plant isn't just decoration, it's a living mirror of patience and balance. When you slow down and observe, you begin to understand not just what your plant needs, but also how nurturing it can nurture you. Growth becomes a shared journey, one breath, one leaf at a time. Tip 14, design with intention. Let your snake plant shine in your space. Your snake plant isn't just a plant, it's a living piece of design. The way you place it in your home can completely transform how both you and the plant feel. These tall sculptural leaves have a natural elegance that deserves attention. So don't hide them in a dark corner or behind furniture. Bring them into the light, both literally and aesthetically. Try setting your snake plant near a window where sunlight gently filters through the curtains. The way the light hits those sword-shaped leaves during the golden hours of the day can make your entire room feel alive. For small apartments or offices, elevate your plant on a stand or pair it with warm, indirect LED lighting. Suddenly, your simple green companion becomes a striking focal point, calm, modern, and full of life. If you have outdoor space, let your snake plant spend some summer days on the balcony or patio. A few weeks of natural sunlight can boost its growth and color in ways indoor light can't fully replicate. Just remember to ease it into that brightness slowly, the way you'd adjust your eyes after stepping into the sun. The beauty of the snake plant is that it fits everywhere, from minimalist lofts to cozy homes filled with books and light. Wherever it stands, it brings balance, a touch of nature's order, and that quiet reminder that growth can be both graceful and strong. Tip 15, celebrate the journey, patience, progress, and the joy of growth. Here's the truth every plant lover eventually learns. Growth takes time. Snake plants don't rush. They move at their own pace, quietly building strength beneath the surface before showing it to the world. And that's what makes them so special. They remind us that progress isn't always loud or fast. Sometimes it's silent and steady. If you followed these tips, the light, the soil, the watering, the care, then trust the process. Take photos every few weeks and compare them. You'll notice the subtle changes: thicker leaves, deeper greens, new shoots peeking through the soil. It might not happen overnight, but it will happen. And when it does, it feels incredible, because you've been part of that transformation. Your snake plant is more than decor. It's a living reflection of your consistency and care. Every bit of attention you give, every time you dust its leaves, check its soil, or move it to catch a little more light, adds up. You're not just growing a plant, you're cultivating patience, mindfulness, and gratitude. So take a moment to celebrate what you've built, a connection between you and something alive. Your home feels calmer, the air cleaner, the energy lighter. Your home, your sanctuary of growth. And there you have it, 15 simple, science-backed, and heartfelt ways to help your snake plant grow 3 times faster, stronger, and happier. But more than that, you've learned how to create a space that breathes life back into you. Because when we care for plants, we're really learning how to care, how to slow down, observe, and nurture with patience. Every new leaf your snake plant grows is proof that consistency, love, and small daily habits truly matter. So take a look around your home. That corner where your snake plant stands, it's no longer just decoration. It's a living story of growth, resilience, and quiet transformation. Maybe it's been growing slowly, but so have you. Together, you've learned that nature doesn't need to rush to be beautiful. If you've enjoyed this journey, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments how your snake plant is doing, or which tip you're most excited to try first. Your stories inspire me and everyone in this community of green hearts. And don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights for more inspiring plant stories, care guides, and gentle reminders to bring nature closer to your everyday life. Together, we'll keep learning, growing, and turning our homes into lush sanctuaries of calm and beauty.